don't know. I'm going to try my joke here. I mean, maybe I'll just, I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. The rest might just noodle for the day. I don't know. But let's see what the joke, I had a joke, so let me do it. See what I got here on it. What was I doing on this one? Okay, this is just a pretty dumb joke. But I thought it was kind of funny at the time. So, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. In the eye of the beholder. Which honestly explains a lot of weird things people call beautiful, you know? Because half these folks must be distracted by the bee they're holding. So how are they going to judge? How are they going to judge? You know what I mean? Because they're holding a bee. So like, dude, put the bee down. No wonder your standards are all over the place. You're in pain. You're vibrating, for crying out loud. You've basically judged beauty while being tased by nature's tiniest electrician. I couldn't even write a poem while holding a bee, especially before computers, you know, and these guys are the ones that are judging what beauty is. We're going to listen to the bee holders to tell us what they are? This is ridiculous. Back then, I'd be too busy swashbuckling with my feather quill and yeeting the ink jar at the bee like I'm in the world's nerdiest bar fight. Honestly, depending on the bee holders to judge beauty is a statistical nightmare as well, you know? I mean, like how many bee holders do we even have in the sample? How many bee holders are out there? Why are we relying on these people? I've never held a bee in my life. At least not on purpose. I mean, a bee held me once by its stinger. There was no consent form, no handshake, no agreement, just vibes, painful vibes, man. I'm pretty sure the bee to holding a bee must be an actual requirement for the Hollywood Oscars judge to be a Hollywood Oscars judge, you know? Because that explains every best picture choice since 2007, for crying out loud. They're all sitting there trying to watch the movie while they're holding on to a bee and they're scared of getting stung by it, so they make stupid choices because they're more, you know. So maybe, I'm just spitballing here, if we stop outsourcing the judgment of beauty to the bee holders and ask normal, non-stung, non-panicking humans instead, we might actually get a solid consensus on what beauty is. We can agree on this stuff. You just got to stop making the bee holders the judge, or at least we can have fewer injuries that way. I don't know. I wrote a song about it. I didn't actually write it. I put the script into Suno. First time I've ever heard it. I'll give you my first impressions on it. Let's see what we got.
Beauty is in the eye of a beholder. Yeah, that explains a lot of things we call beautiful, don't it? Cause half these folks are distracted by the bee they're holding, buzzing in the hand while they're trying to form an opinion. Like, dude, put the bee down. No wonder your standards are wobbling all over the place. You're in pain, you're shaking, you're basically vibrating, trying to judge beauty while nature's tiniest electrician is tasing you. I couldn't write a poem while holding a bee, no way. Especially back before computers. I'd be too busy swashbuckling with the feather quill, eating the ink jar at the bee like a nerd in a bar fight. Depending on the bee holders to judge beauty, man, that's a statistical nightmare. How many bee holders even are there? I've never held a bee in my life, at least not on purpose. A bee held me once by its stinger. No consent form, no handshake deal, just vibes. Painful, painful vibes. And I'm starting to think holding the bee is a requirement to judge the Oscars. Kinda explains every best picture pick since like 2007. So maybe, and I'm just spitballing here, maybe we stop outsourcing beauty to the beholder. And that's normal, non-stung, non-panicking humans instead. We could finally get a real consensus on what beauty is.
it just read my script again. I think it used to rewrite the thing for me. Whatever, dude. Whatever. I'm not sure I feel. I was gonna go on to the next one here. Either going back to node number 5, but I don't know. I think I'm just gonna practice. Oh no, I dropped my pick. See if I can pick it up with my foot. I think I'm just gonna practice my strumming. Oh, I lost it totally now. I don't know what I did. I kicked it out of reach. I'm gonna get another one. It was getting worn down anyways. I didn't even want that pick. I bought new picks. All right, so I'm gonna say. So I'm just gonna practice my rhythm drumming for the day, because I'm kind of out of it. My sleep schedule's off. So I'm gonna noodle around. Let's try the key of, so I'm gonna try to go back and forth. Like I was in A minor. I'm in the collection of notes around C major, and then I was noodling around A minor as like my center shape, and then I was switching that to the major. So the relative major for A minor is the collection of notes around D, right? D major has A minor as the mixolydian, and then as I was doing that, so that means, so now I'm in, and then so now the mixolydian is the A, and then I was thinking, well, as I'm doing that, maybe when I switch back on over here, I will also try to then noodle back on over to like G mixolydian over here in the collection of notes around the key of C, or something like that. Or maybe or maybe I'll noodle over to D Dorian or something like that. And then when I go back to this collection of notes, I'm going to try to just move around a little bit. Maybe I'm on mixolydian for the A mixolydian, but then maybe I go to D. I mean, I could go to like D major. Maybe I go to D major or the minor here. The minor here would be here B minor. So I could go to B minor as like the minor over there. So I'll try to call out what I'm doing so I'm not just noodling and you have no idea what I'm doing. I'll just say, okay, so I'm like starting in A. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna try to think like where the nodal center is, and I'm just gonna try to do my normal patterns but adjust it to the nodal center. So A minor, here's my home position, root and the third up here. I'm in collection notes around the key of C, so if I go back, this is on the 5th fret obviously. Alright. And now I'm going to switch to a mixolydian mainly, this collection of notes, but I'm going to go back and forth between it and the minor. So now I'm on that node number 5. Open position and mixolydian. A mixolydian. So I'm just leaning on this open A string, which is now node number 5. So now I'm leaning on this one, and I'm just noodling with my finger down here and reaching up. Now this is position number 1. So this is position number 1, but I have that open 5 over. I'm sorry, this is position number 4, but I've got that open 5 over here, and then position number 1 now is up here. So and the 7 is the reach up here, so I have a 7 here, 7 up top, 7 of the 5. So because that would be, well, I won't think about it. And then I could do the pattern. So now I'm kind of just doing the same thing for the Ionian node. Back to the mixolydian node. now I'm doing the same thing for the Dorian node. For the Ionian node, open Ionian. Back to the Mixolydian. That's a little bit outside the shape because when I go down here, when I do the blues thing, I'm looking at a mirrored shape. So now when I go down here, I could think about that as now I'm in, like when I have the open Ionian, I could actually think about that as a whole new shape because I'm doing a mirror image. So it's basically like now that note, it would be the Ionian of that note, which would be a D, right? It would be a D. I'm sorry, it'd be a Mixolydian D. And then when I go up here, I'm not playing a minor. I'm not playing a Dorian shuffle. I'm not switching the thing. I'm just thinking of it as that E is now going to have the same pattern. Therefore, it would be a Mixolydian E. So if I wanted to map out what I'm doing, I'd have to move to like a Mixolydian. Here, when I go down to this one, I'd have to go to a Mixolydian, and when I go up there, I'd have to go to a Mixolydian. But I'm just going to keep it in the same spot, right? And just say, okay, it's just the same pattern. I'm just kind of doing the same thing. When I go down here, I do the same thing. I'm just doing like I'm copying and pasting on this node, and so I'm not really thinking of the whole shape moving. I'm just kind of thinking, oh, I did that same pattern will work there. Same pattern will work up here. Back here. And then I'll go back. So now I'm back up here in this collection of notes. Here, which is just basically this, this shape, boom, boom, boom. So there's the shape up top. If I make the third go back, that would be this third right here, right? I can lean this third back and like play with that. Up here, the third is up top, so it's going from here to here, doon doon. So there's the root. And when I'm going back and behind it, the third is right here, and then I reach up to this one up top for the 7. I was trying to say, okay, how can I walk back to the other shape? And I kind of like this pattern because I have this back here. I've got this pattern, which gives me like the wonky part of gives me that, goes boom. What did it say? Where am I? I'm on the 5th fret. It goes right there, boom, boom, boom. So it gives me that funky sound because it has that 6th note distance. And what I'm thinking is like, well, if I walk that back to where that same weird thing is in the other pattern, like if I look at the other pattern over here, that shape is right here, dun, dun. And if I go to here, that's basically part of going back to the G Mixolydian, right? So now I'm on like the A Mixolydian. So I'm like behind position number 1, and I'm going where that half step is, where the third is. There's the third. The full bar chord would be up here, right? But I'm just doing this bit, and then I'm walking it a half step back. is out of the key, but it's a half step, so I can do that chromatically. And then I'm walking it back. So now I'm in the collection of notes around the key of C, and I'm on, in essence, that's the Mixolydian. So if I take my pointer and reach up here, now I'm in G Mixolydian, right? So I could think of it as a blues thing for G's Mixolydian, which I can then convert back to an A minor, right? So now I'm in. So if I was in, so let's see if that works, right? If I was in A Mixolydian, just trying to get the feel, and then I'm like, okay. G Mixolydian. G Mixolydian has A as its related minor, so I can try to get this back to my A minor, right? Now I'm going to go back. I'm in A minor, not A major now. Switch it to the Phrygian. Now I'm in the Phrygian, related Phrygian, which is E Phrygian. Go to D, which is a minor note, but Dorian, D Dorian. So I still have that funky thing in D Dorian. It wouldn't be in D minor, but it's in D Dorian. That to D Mixolydian. So now I'm on D Dorian. What if I make that go to D Mixolydian? That would be this collection of notes. G major has a D Mixolydian. So now I'm not going from D minor to D Mixolydian, but I'm going from D Dorian to D Mixolydian. Kind of like I'm in D Mixolydian, but then I'm just gonna bring the third up so that it's gonna have a major third. repeating the pattern of the minor underneath it, because you have the, so now I'm just mirroring the pattern of the D and the L below it. So this node below it, and then this one up here, I'm just doing the same kind of pattern. I'm not really thinking about myself in another shape. I'm just saying, okay, that's the blues pattern. So I'm just gonna mirror the same shape as though it was down here. I gotta accompany the fact that the string is different right there because of the fault line. Doing the normal bluesy thing, which is just 7 chords on that L here. You could just do power chords. And then add the 7. Detailed if I saw the whole shape move, but I'm really just thinking about it from one position, right? Because if I see the whole shape move up to Mixolydian here, then I can play a whole nother parallel shape up here. Whereas if I see it as in the same shape, but I'm just kind of doing the parallel thing, then I can't really do as much because I don't see the whole pattern. All I see is like, well, that's just this chord where I'm doing here, so I can just mirror what I'm doing. Like I'm doing this. This is why the blues, I think, developed the way it did, because I can build it that way without using a lot of theory. You know, I can just say, well, look, if this pattern works here, then I don't need to know what works. I just say, well, that pattern's going to work on the note underneath it. So it's symmetry. I'm doing it by visual symmetry, which is pretty cool because then it all lines up, even though it doesn't fit in the pattern. If it fit in the pattern, it wouldn't be symmetrical. So I'm just kind of... So whatever I do here, if I can memorize what fits in this pattern and then adjust it with the kink and the tuning to this pattern, it'll sound cool because you're playing in a different scale, but you're playing parallel. You're just mimicking the same thing in the next one, right? So... I can get good at that just by memorization, right? Just by not knowing exactly all the patterns that but it would be good to then map out the pattern, because then when I mimic, I can mimic that's not exactly the same, but it's in the same, like if I'm thinking about this as Mixolydian, and I know this is now the Mixolydian, the note below it, instead of doing the same thing, I can do a variant of the pattern, because I know the notes, because now I'm thinking of myself as in a different pattern, and like basically the Mixolydian here, or you can think of yourself as in the major with a dropped 7 or whatever, however you want to think about it. It's actually quite complicated because there's multiple different ways you can think about it, and everybody kind of thinks about it a little bit different. So anyway, it seems to me, as far as I can tell. But doing now is I'm kind of thinking, all right, I'm in D Mixolydian, so I'm going to play that down here where I have the open. And I'm reaching open Mixolydian, which is my D, up to here, and then I'm reaching up, altering up to here, and up to, but not there, right there. So that's that 2 to that nodal point 2 to nodal point 4 is the first modal whole step, second modal half step, third scale degree, right? So that's, and out here, and if I reach out here, wait a sec, 2, 3, 4, yeah. But I'm thinking about myself on the Mixolydian. So from the Mixolydian, that's the 7th. So I have the open mix. Yeah. So let me try that again. And then I'm switching to basically the next one under it. You can see it in an L, right? So if I was on like the Mixolydian here, the next one under it would be the Ionian. And that happens to be a G with the open G. So with the open G, I could, again, mirror that, but I can't really mirror the open position. But I happen to know the collection notes around of A major has the open G in it, has the, is it A major? It has the, because then I'm looking for, is that it? That's not it. I'm looking for, that has G minor, G major. Well, let's look at G minor. This one has G minor. So now it's the Aeolian, where I can go from the minor and just sharp it. So now I'm going to do the minor walk back thing from like here, boom, boom, boom. And that's cool because I have this open note, which is outside the collection, but that happens to be a minor third. So when I do the pattern, instead of just going like, and then mirroring that here, and then back to here, and then mirroring that up here, instead of doing that, I'm going to play the pattern on the D down here. Or whatever. And then when I play the G, I'm going to use the open G and do that walk back thing, thinking of myself as in minor, but then sliding up to major. So, and I'm going to play this open D, open B, which is the third of it. So I get. I can also walk back the D if I wanted to that same way. So like I can start off here, walk back the G, and then instead of going to the D in the normal pattern, now I've kind of changed it. So maybe I want to mirror that a little bit more. So I can mirror that with the D walk back, which would be, here's the collection of notes for D minor. Or I can use D Dorian if I want to, right? Which would be the collection notes around the key of C. And I can walk this back and then sharp the third. So now I'm looking at D, which is the Aeolian. Whoops, what is it? And then when I want to finish the pattern to the next one would be here, would be an A. I could do the same thing for the A, right? That would be an A minor. I can go to the A minor, which then has a, and then flat it. So now I can say, okay, open position D. So now I'm thinking of myself in the collection of D Mixolydian. So which would be A, right? It would be G, collection notes of G major. I'm looking at the Mixolydian node. That's the tone. And then when I go to the next one, it's gonna be a G, but I'm gonna think of myself as like G, the collection of notes of, which one was it? The collection of notes of A sharp, which is the one that has the G Mixolydian or G minor, but then I'm going to sharp it, sharp the third. And then I could go back to the D, but this time maybe I'm thinking of myself back in D minor, or maybe D Dorian if I know that better, where now if it's Dorian, I'm going back to the 2, right, which is the Dorian node in the collection of notes around the key of C. But then again, I'm sharping the third. And then I could go to the A, which I might do something totally different in. Maybe I go to the A. Now I'm thinking of myself as A minor. And so if I'm in A minor, but I'm going to sharp the third, I might do something like that, right? Which I can mirror here with the Mixolydian. And then I can go, and then I could even mirror it with the Dorian. Or the D. back into A minor again. Let's go to the Spanish-y sounding walk back. A minor, G major, F major, and then E major.